Welcome back to another episode of Maverick Showdown. Today we are joined by three amazing guests. First off, we have the lady who passed one of her classes just by walking into it. Reagan, how did you manage that?
I don't know. I just showed up and they decided I deserved an A.
I mean, I wish I had that ability. I'm jealous of you, that's for sure. Then we are joined by the woman who can defy gravity, but only between 3 and 4 a.m. Emmy, how do you use that power?
You know, sometimes I just like to wake up in the middle of the night and I just go flying.
I mean, I can't blame you. That sounds like a good time. And for our last contestant, we have the woman who invented surgery, but is way too humble to say anything about it, Johnny. Why do you not want to boast about that ever?
I can't tell you.
It's
private information.
I feel like you should just go out and say it, honestly. Anyway, with introductions done, I think we should just hop right into the show. There are 4 categories, 5 questions per category. If you get a question right, you'll get a point. For this episode, we're going to have Emmy choose the first category.
Oh.
What category do you want?
Movies.
All right, movies. What is our first movie question today? Name the actor of Phineas and Flynn from Phineas and Ferb. Emmy.
Joe Biden.
Is it Joe Biden? No, not quite Joe
close.
Biden. I feel like he'd be a pretty good Phineas. I don't know why.
Yeah.
Just seems
Say
right.
something about the voice.
Well, since you got it wrong, we're going to go on to the second movie question here. What is our second one here today? Who said it? I can't read that. You won't, kids. It's a leap of faith. Or you won't, kid. It's a leap of faith. That's all it is. A leap of faith. Johnny.
Was it Santa Claus?
Was it Santa Claus? No, it was Peter B. Parker. That does seem like something that Santa Claus would say, honestly. I feel like that's something that would come out of a Hallmark film. But that's 2 questions down. No points so far.
Shoot.
So, we're going to go on to our third movie question here. I think you guys got this.
Definitely.
What city did the show Friends... Oh! Emmy.
New York City.
Is it New York City? That is correct. Emmy, first one on the board here today. And you get to choose. Do you want to go to a different category or stick with movies?
Stick with movies.
Let's stick with movies, she says. What is our third movie question today? Or is this our fourth? I think this is our fourth, actually. How many muses are in Hercules?
It's not clicking.
Ooh, Emmy.
3?
Is it 3? It's 5.
Okay.
Not quite. And we are going to be going on to our final movie question here today. What is our final movie question? Dory suffers from what? Johnny.
Short-term memory loss.
Is it short-term memory loss? It is indeed. Johnny getting on the board with the final movie question here. If we look at the score, Emmy with 1, Johnny with 1, and Reagan sitting behind at 0. Still a very, very close game. And Johnny, you got that last one right, so you can choose what category we go to next.
Let's do history.
History it is. What is our first history question of the day? How old was King Tut when he died? Johnny.
13.
Was he 13? 19.
That was close.
Very close, but not quite the answer. Which means we'll be going on to the next history question here. What will it be? What did the Sons of Liberty do in protest towards the British? Johnny?
They threw tea in the bay.
Did they throw tea in the bay? They did indeed.
See, I know.
Johnny, getting her second point here with the history question, and you get to choose, do you want to stick with history or do you want to move on to either sports or pop culture?
Let's stick with it.
Stick with it, she says. Let's go on to our next history question. Who invented the first plane? Reagan.
Was it Orville and Wilbur Wright?
Was it
Orville and Wilbur
I don't know how to say their names. Was it the Wright
Wright
brothers?
brothers.
It was indeed.
Ooh.
Reagan getting on the board here, keeping this game close. Az, you get to choose what category we go to next.
Let's go to pop culture.
Pop culture it is. What is our first pop culture question of the day? Finish the vine. I'm in me mom's car. Vroom vroom.
Driving down the highway.
Ooh. Is it driving down the highway, Emmy guesses? No, it's get out me car. So, looks like we are going to be sticking here with pop culture. What is our second pop culture question today? What actress lied about her age to get casted in that 70s show? Reagan.
Mila Kunis?
Is it Mila Kunis? It is indeed
Oh,
Reagan.
Wow.
Tying the score up for first. Az, you get to choose what category we go to next.
Let's stick with pop culture.
Pop culture, she says. What is our next pop culture question? Who is the main character in Lord of the Rings? Emmy,
Frodo Baggins.
is it Frodo Baggins? It is indeed, and we have a tie game here. And you get to choose what category you would like to go to
Let's go
next.
sports.
Let's go sports, she says. Our first sports question of this episode. What do we got? What sports franchise or what sport features stones and brooms?
Is it broom
Emmy.
ball?
Sorry,
Broom ball?
is it broom ball? No, it's curling. So not quite broom ball.
I think that was a good
I don't know what
guess.
broom ball is, but
They use actual brooms.
do they?
Yeah.
Ah, makes sense. What is our next sports question here? What team has won the most NBA games in a single season? Any guesses?
The
Ooh, Emmy.
Lakers.
The Lakers, is that correct? No, unfortunately it's the Golden State Warriors. Another California team, so close, but not quite. As we go on to our third sports question here today. Who is the youngest player to win NFL MVP? Looks like Reagan's got some thoughts in her head.
I'm thinking.
Deep thoughts here today from our guests. Any answer at the buzzer? Oh, Emmy.
I'll go Peyton Manning.
Is it Peyton Manning? No, it was Lamar
Oh,
Jackson.
okay.
I couldn't even think
Another
of
quarterback again, but not quite. We go on to our next sports question here. What do we have? What NFL team has the most Super Bowl losses?
The
Reagan.
Falcons.
Is it the Falcons? No, it was tied between the
okay.
Broncos and the Patriots. So unfortunately, we're still stuck with sports. We have one more sports question to go. What will the last one be? What player has won the most golden shoes? Emmy,
Messi.
is it Messi? It is indeed. Emmy taking the lead as we finish up sports. If we take a look at the score right now, it is a very close game. Reagan with 2, Emmy with 3, and Johnny with 2. How do you guys feel right now going into these last few questions?
Like Emmy should get kicked out.
Take out the competition. That's one way to do it for sure. So, Emmy, you got that last question right. What category would you like to go to next? We still have history and we still have pop culture.
Let's go history.
All right. Let's see what our next history question is. What family is known for helping fund the Renaissance? Ooh, Emmy with a guess.
The royal family.
Is it the royal family? It is not. It's the Medici family. The royal family is not a bad guess, though. I do like that answer. And I believe we are going to stick with history on this one, then. Who ruled the Mongolian Empire when they invaded China? Emmy,
Genghis Khan.
is it Genghis Khan? It is indeed. Emmy starting to break away here. And you get to choose. Do you want to go to pop culture or stick with history for our final question?
Let's stick with history.
Let's stick with history for the final question, she says. What do we got? I think we're actually out of history questions. Sorry. How many seasons has The Simpsons been on air? Going to pop culture. Johnny.
12.
12 years. Is that correct? 34 seasons, so probably about 34 years.
Very close.
I think 12 is a little bit of an understatement for them. Let's go on to our next pop culture question then. What do we got? Finish the vine. Roadwork ahead.
No.
Oh, Reagan.
Yeah, I sure hope it does.
Is that the correct answer? It is indeed. Reagan keeping it close here.
Thank you.
As we go into, I believe, our final pop culture question of the game. What do we have? Are we done? I think we're done.
Oh,
Actually, sorry.
I thought I had another
Well-
shot.
At the end of all the questions that we had, we have a very, very close game. The closest one so far today. Johnny striking behind with 2. Reagan almost getting there
so
with 3.
close.
And Emmy at 4, winning the game. Emmy, how do you feel?
I mean, I feel like a superstar. Just shout out to my dad.
Shout out to the dad indeed. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this week's episode of Maverick Showdown. Thank you guys for showing up and being a part of it. And we hope to see you on the next episode of Maverick Showdown.